This episode is sponsored by Cyberlytica, combating fraud, account takeover, and information warfare. Get a free dark web password scan now from Cyberlytica. Use promo code Hacked Again. My guest today has 20 years of experience in the security industry, beginning her career as a field technician responsible for the installation, design, and implementation of integrated security solutions. Antoinette King is a key account manager with Axis Communications with a focus on end-user engagements in the New Jersey and New York region. Antoinette is a board-certified physical security professional who's been concentrating her efforts on the application of cybersecurity in the physical security environment. Antoinette is also a founding member of the Association of Data and Cyber Governance, an active member of ASIS, holding positions as Chapter Chairperson of the Hudson Valley Chapter and a member of the Women in Security Global Council. Antoinette, what keeps you up at night?
Oh, that's a great question. We are in the midst of having a generation of young people who are growing up with a digital footprint before birth. So essentially their parents are putting information out there while they're pregnant, and then their birth date comes out, the day they're born, their weight, their name, their location, and we're providing them with all of this information and connectivity without any real protections. We're not educating them. You're watching families walking down the street and their infant is holding a cell phone or an iPad before they can walk and talk. They're being exposed to all of these outside influences, yet we're not providing them with the tools that they need to protect their personal information. We don't teach them that predators are out there preying on young people based on the information that they're putting online. Sex trafficking and human trafficking is at an all-time high, especially now during COVID, because young people are being isolated. They're not around their friends. They are getting connections from people all over the world that make them feel excited and special, and tricking them into going and meeting them somewhere. I think it's really, really important that we start implementing some sort of education from the K through 12 stages of how to be a good digital citizen. We are all connected on everything that we do. Young people are on gaming devices. We don't think about that. They're playing games with people from all over the world. They're giving out information. I shared a story recently. My 14-year-old son thought that it was okay to share our Disney Plus account with his best friend. And so I go and turn on the TV and there's his little avatar. They're trusting by nature. And without really having conversations with them to discuss what we're putting out there, how this stuff stays with them their whole lives, how the information they're putting on social media is going to affect them getting into college and getting jobs. And then social engineering really plays a big part in this because young people are so trusting, and many adults as well, they're seeing information online and they just believe it. We've got clickbait. So we've got a couple of different facets here. Clickbait kind of stuff where advertisers are really generating revenue on our young people because they're just going to click on that famous person to find out how they lost 20 pounds. But then we also have social engineering in the factor of really influencing thought. And that is truly what keeps me up at night. A whole generation of young people who are trusting, who are comfortable with technology, who are reading things online and formulating their opinions about politics, about racial divide, about all of these things based on information that they haven't fact-checked. When we were growing up, we had newspapers, and newspapers were considered credible sources, right? You had to do stuff in order to become a newspaper. You couldn't just kind of put stuff out there. You were held accountable. Now anybody can have a blog and they can put whatever they want on there, and you can buy your followers. So you've got certain news outlets that have millions of followers, and these kids see those followers. Now they're influencers. All of a sudden, this random account that looks like a news article because it's got news in the title becomes an influencer. So this is the kind of stuff that really really gets me upset as a mother of 2 teenage boys. I really try to talk to them about how to look for factual information and fact check things and not just go with what your friends liked and now all of a sudden that's the actual news. But it doesn't just affect young people, it affects adults as well. But I think that having an entire generation of young people that have grown up and are comfortable with technology, most of them know more than their parents do, it's dangerous not to provide them with the tools and the defenses and the understanding of how their personal information is being used against them and how they can protect themselves.
Excellent points there. And I think even as a parent, I could certainly identify with 2 teenagers in the house. They are very trusting. And I think to your point, it is important as parents that we do sit down, spend some time, and talk with our kids and educate them so they understand that they don't always have to be so trusting. And with digital, there's in a sense a digital footprint that kind of stays around. It doesn't go away. So it is something that is very concerning. Hey, Antoinette, how can our viewers learn maybe a little bit more about yourself, some of the things that you're involved in, if they want to reach out and connect with you? What's the best way to do that?
LinkedIn is my favorite platform. As you said, I'm an active member of ASIS International, which is a physical security organization. So I've published a few articles through them as well. But just look me up on LinkedIn and I'd be more than happy to connect.
All right, great. Well, thanks again for coming on with us.
Thank you for having me.